Today on Free Field Training, we're going to be looking at my everyday carry when I am off duty this summer 2023. Now, I'm not saying I'm exactly the height of fashion here with my green cargo shorts and t-shirt that I got for free, but I think it's important to look not just at what people are carrying like you get with most EDC videos. I'd like to dive a little bit more into how I'm carrying it and why that makes sense for me and what I end up doing. So my summers are split between being at actual work and being out camping and then trying to do things around the homestead here. So a lot of the stuff that I'm carrying and wearing is pretty utilitarian in purpose. Now there's not a whole lot to see up here, and nobody really is into looking at my face anyway, so I'm going to give everybody their favorite view of me and all of my gear. That's better, the old crotch shot. So this is where I keep most of my stuff. These are actually green cargo shorts. I think they're Wranglers or something. It's just whatever I can get on sale with a short inseam because I'm only 5'2". The belt that I use is a Core Essentials gun belt, and it links up great with my Harry's Holsters Icon revolver holster. As you can see, I keep it kind of the 2 o'clock here. You can see it right there. The belt itself allows me to click adjust 1/4 inch increments. We've looked at this before on the channel. I've got a bunch of these so I can like color coordinate them to different outfits and stuff, and you can get different buckles. So this one kind of looks like it's a normal buckle for a belt that would have holes, but it doesn't. It's 1/4 inch click adjustments in and out. There's a little lever that allows you to adjust it out, and it makes it really easy to arm up and disarm whenever I need to. And this holster with this belt, I can just adjust, get ready and going for the day real easy. And as you can see, unless you're really into catching people carrying, the gun just kind of disappears. If I just drop my shirt down in front of all of it, it completely disappears. And if I do have a problem with printing, I can click it in a little bit or click it out a little bit without even having to show the belt buckle. Now this belt buckle I like because it looks like it would have the normal buckling where you would adjust between different holes in your belt, but it doesn't have holes at all. It's just the click on the back. And because of that, it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb like a lot of like tactical cool guy belts would. As this type of belt becomes more common in the world, people are going to start noticing them and seeing the belt and saying, oh, that's a belt that's associated with a gun. The great thing about what Core Essentials does with these is not only is this a good gun belt that supports the weight of the pistol and allows me to conceal it easily, but they also have lots of different varieties of these, so you can mix and match their buckles with their different types of belts, and then you don't stick out like a sore thumb when you're wearing it. There's too many different options for it to be like, oh, that's definitely a Core Essentials belt because that's the variety that they make. The gun itself is a Smith & Wesson 360 PD. The 360 PD has been my favorite off-duty pistol for a very long time. I've got plenty of videos on it. It's a 5-shot hammer spur 357 Magnum. Of course, you can shoot 38s out of it if you like. I use Spears short barrel rounds, which gets me right in the neighborhood of 9mm out of a 5-inch barrel type of performance out of this little tiny pistol, which is really great for me, and it's also very good in a clinch, if you know what I mean. I carry this around in Harry's Holsters Icon 2 revolver holster. This has these metal clips that allow you to carry your pistol even if you don't have pants that have a belt, but when you have it on pants with a belt, it easily clips over a 1.5-inch belt, and you can adjust to wherever you want it, and then the gun disappears. So that's absolutely awesome. This is my favorite J-frame revolver holster in the world right now, and it allows me to take the pistol in and out without having to adjust or look or any of that type of stuff. It works very much like a duty holster, even though it's inside the waistband. Between the profile of the kind of pointed profile of the revolver and the fact that this has a big funnel in the front of it, gun comes in and out of the holster without having to look or play around too much with it. This is a great combo for concealed carry if you're not looking to bring a whole bunch of firepower to the party. You just want to be prepared enough. Next up is in my right pants pocket. I have two things that I pretty much always carry. One is a decent knife, and the other one is a decent flashlight. And by a decent knife, I don't mean the most expensive, best, amazing knife in the world that you could ever find. I mean literally a decent knife. This is a little knife made by Kershaw. I actually picked one of these up when I was on vacation. I got an identical one for my son. These are great. They meet all of the requirements, like legal requirements for most areas inside the United States. The blades, because it's got this little tonneau blade, they're real easy to sharp. It's two flat sections instead of a curved section that you're trying to like run around a sharpening stone. I can do this with just about any sharpening device. I can sharpen this knife easily. It's a liner lock. It's fairly easy to use. It's fairly light. There's also a reversible pocket clip on it, so you want to carry it right or left side, you can do that. There's a kind of a flathead screwdriver on the end of this. You can see there. You could use it to turn screws, and then it's got two little nibs on either side that allow this to work as a bottle opener. So pretty cheap knife, only about $25 to $30, but really effective for the purpose of just using it for a little EDC knife, where if you lose it, it's not a big deal, but it brings lots of performance to the table. Lots of things you can do with this. And then my flashlight is literally a nothing. This is a ThruNite Archer 1AV3. I've probably had this since one of the very beginning videos of the channel. You can see this one is all beat up, but it still works great for me. It runs off of a single AA battery, and I don't keep it loaded with anything special, right? Here's just a alkaline battery that I probably took out of a remote control somewhere. So this is great because you can have momentary on. I can push it momentary, or I can click it on. And once it's clicked on, I can adjust how much light I get. I normally leave it at the medium setting, which is not a whole lot of light. It's maybe 150 lumens. I don't know what the high setting is on this. For most applications, I don't find that I need a whole lot more than this to get the job done. And if I do, I'm going to have to go to a car probably to get it anyway, because I'm not going to dedicate as much pocket space as I need to get a more powerful light than this in my pockets. I would have to carry it on a pouch on my belt, and while I do carry a multi-tool when I'm physically actually at camp and camping, I don't carry anything on my belt, generally speaking, other than a pistol when I'm at home. This was super cheap and pretty effective, and the fact that it runs on a single AA battery is a total win in my book for everyday carry. I have my lighter that I always carry. One of my hallmarks and throwbacks to simpler days is I carry a Zippo lighter. I find that this works really well for lighting just about anything, because they get a nice good high flame on them. So lighting campfires, lighting anything that you might need to light while walking around a city or a campsite, it works really, really easily. Plus the scent, the aroma of the Zippo lighter fluid, it's fantastic. Absolute win in my book. I got my keys, my car keys here. On here I've got a fob for the gym and house keys for various people's houses. And I've got a handcuff key and a ferrocerium rod. The handcuff key because I've got a lot of handcuffs floating around pretty much everywhere, and it would be really inconvenient to get one of them stuck on somebody or stuck on myself or something like that without having a handcuff key. So as a cop, a handcuff key is a pretty cheap insurance, since these essentially are free. They come with every set of cuffs. You find them all over the place. And a ferrocerium rod I've carried since I was about 11, mostly to teach little kids when I'm at camp how to light fires without matches. I don't think I've actually had to light a fire without matches, like in a real world survival situation with this ever. If I ever lit a fire with this that wasn't, I think they've all been for demonstration purposes, but it's a good skill to have, and this is an easy way to get people into understanding that you can light a fire with just this and pocket lint, or with friction. You could take a piece of wire and rub it over a log and get it hot enough to light pocket lint and actually get yourself a fire. So it's one of those good example points for kids. On the other side, I've got my cell phone. This is, I think it's a S20 Plus. It's basically, when I bought this cell phone, the idea was to have something that was pretty durable, had a good camera, and had an enormous screen. Because as I'm getting older, my eyes aren't getting any better, and I like to be able to use this as a mobile TV, whether it's for work purposes or guarding prisoners or working a side job or editing my own videos. When I upload them, I want to be able to watch them in the largest screen humanly possible. This has been great between the camera and the big screen for doing, the free field training videos. And I've got it in this clip. It's an encased clip is what it says. The brand is Encased. And I've been breaking all of the other clips and cases that I've ever gotten for cell phones the entire time I've owned a cell phone. This is the only one that has stood up for longer than like a year on me. And then what else do I have? Oh, I've got my wallet, which I keep in my back pocket. This wallet is from Tactically Suited. It was handmade. Inside is my badge on one side, and then my credentials are on the other side, and then they are covered by this little piece of like very thin leather here that keeps the credential cover, case cover, and my badge from bumping into each other and scratching the living crap out of each other, although my badge is old and crusty and all bumped into already. The watch that I wear every day is this G-Shock. It's a Casio Mudmaster. I love this thing mostly because it counts my steps and it automatically updates the time for where I'm at. And I like a nice analog front on a watch. I can see easily what time it is pretty much night and day. And when I'm out camping with this, I don't have to use the little illumination mode because the lume on this is pretty good. If I'm out walking out in the sun all day, this will run till about 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Just on lume I can see what time it is, and then by 5 in the morning the sun's coming up anyway, so there's no reason to use the illumination most of the time when I'm at camp. The shoes that I wear during the summer are Salomon's. They're a Salomon Gore-Tex gym shoe in dark green. And I used to wear hiking boots all the time when I was camping, and I've kind of gotten away from wearing hiking boots all the time. Mostly because hiking boots are heavy, and most of the protection that I need for my feet when I'm hiking around, the Michigan, Indiana, Illinois, Ohio area isn't from cacti or anything that's going to actually injure my feet. Most of it's just from water and scuffs. And so far, I've had those for about a year, and they've worked out really well in lieu of hiking boots for most applications. I've got about 7 pairs of these green shorts from various makers, and I know that's not a super cool thing to say that I wear the same thing every day, but I've got probably 12 pairs of shorts that I wear during the summer because when I go to summer camp and stuff, dark green shorts, beyond being like the scouting uniform du jour, it covers dirt and grime and green and nasty and all sorts of stuff really, really well. It doesn't look as dirty if they're dark green shorts. So I've got those, and then for home I've got gray and tan and other colors, but they all pretty much have pockets in the same places. So when I go to reach for things or I go to put things away, the belt fits in the belt loops. And it's going to fit in the belt loops the same way every time, so I don't have to worry about whether my belt's going to fit. And my pistol can fit in the same spot because it's got the loops at the same location all the time, and it's going to conceal more or less about the same way. And my phone on this little clip can clip to my left pocket so I can find it, slide it in and out of my pocket easily anytime that I need it. And if it's wet out, I can do it USB port down, and if it's dry, I can do it USB port up and have it easier to come look at. My wallet can go in my left back pocket, where it lives most of the time. The idea of this is one of those old cop things where, hey, if you got to draw your pistol and then you have to show your ID, it's kind of hard to do both of those things at once when you're right-handed if your wallet's in your right back pocket. So you can have one out and have the other out simultaneously. So that's a good thing to know, good thing to do. My keys stay in my right pocket, as does my Zippo. My knife clips to the bottom edge of the pocket so I can easily ride down the pocket edge and get it whenever I want. And the flashlight normally stays a little above it. Shockingly enough, and I can't believe that this is true myself, I haven't lost the flashlight or the knife yet walking through the woods with it in this arrangement. Like pull the knife out, the flashlight comes with it, and I lose it on the trail. That hasn't happened to me. And then my watch goes on my left wrist, such as it should. And that's everything. That's what I carry around every day in 2023. Notably, there are some things that most people put in EDC videos that I'm not going to pretend like I carry. that everybody else pretends that they carry. One is a multi-tool. If I'm actually at summer camp and I have the possibility that I'm going to be holding a rope in one hand and trying to untie a knot with the other hand, I carry a multi-tool with me. I carry a Gerber, I think it's a model 600. It's needle nose pliers based, and it's one-handed opening, undo the knot, one-handed closing, put it back away, and I keep that on my right side all the way at my back where like my baton would be when I'm at work, if you've seen my duty belt videos. The other thing that I don't carry around, I'm not going to tell you I EDC, is medical equipment. I keep medical gear in all of my cars. It's in my like sling bag and backpack that I carry if I'm going out camping or hiking or something like that. But you're not going to find me walking around Walmart and like gear check me and find a tourniquet in my pocket. It's not going to happen. I don't think it's realistic for most people. I know it's not realistic in my life. I'm already carrying what I think is too much stuff. And then you start getting into the realm of the survivalist stuff where people are carrying life straws and multiple ways to start fire and pepper spray and all sorts of things. And during the summertime, when I don't have extra pockets and a jacket to load stuff into, carrying a pen and a Right in the Rain pad and pepper spray and a tourniquet and all of that, it's all highly unlikely that I'm going to be carrying that around unless I have a backpack. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. If it's wintertime and I've got a jacket, I can load up pockets with that type of stuff, and then anytime I put my jacket on, I got the stuff with me. But in the summer, realistically, everyday carry, this is the stuff. The Core Essentials gun belt with a Harry's Holsters Icon revolver holster in it, normally an appendix somewhere, Smith 360 PD, a little pocket knife, a little flashlight, a lighter, my keys with the fobs and whatnot on it, and a handcuff key, and my phone, and a decent pair of gym shoes, and if I think it might at all be wet outside, waterproof gym shoes. Gore-Tex gym shoes are a thing, and they're awesome. And that's like it. That's all I carry around. If you have any comments or questions or suggestions for things that I could carry around, I did a video previously about my smallest EDC stuff, and I've tried smaller things and I've tried larger things, as you can see. Like, I've tried all the larger things, and this is the stuff that it's kind of boiled down to over the years that I can carry around and take the weight of while maintaining as much capability as humanly possible. If you've got suggestions for things I haven't thought of or you haven't seen on the channel before, leave those in the comments section down below. Until next week, you guys be safe. Take care of each other. That's been your free field training for today. While you're here, check out one of the other videos that we made, or down here, subscribe so you can see more. Or you could check out Patreon, where you can see how you can get your name put on the videos, like all these fine folks over here. I'll see you guys next time.